Anybody comes anywhere near that, I want you to cool loud as you can, right? If you don't, you're going to be pigeon pie.
That's it.
Thanks very
there
much.
we go. My pleasure.
Are you all right? You didn't give me any warning.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. I just wasn't looking where I was going.
It was my fault. I was miles away. Is there anything I can do?
Do?
Well, do you need a lift? Those bags look heavy.
No, I'm all right. I just wasn't looking where I was going.
You look tired.
I'm okay. Really, no need to fuss. I'm fine.
Actually, I was hoping I'd run into you. Not like that, of course. I wanted to see you.
Oh?
Do you want to go for a drink?
Oh, no. I've got to get back. It's Peter's lunchtime. You know how it is.
Have you got your car?
No, I thought he could do with some fresh air.
Well, why don't you let me give you a lift home?
Why would you want to do that?
You look a bit shaky.
I'm all right.
Please. It's no bother. Here. Give me your shopping.
When did you get back?
Just. You're my first port of call.
Well, come in.
Any chance of a cup of coffee? I'm gasping. Been driving all morning.
Oh, of course. I was just making one.
Been trying to ring you the last few days.
Actually, I went away too. My sister Margaret's. I only got back this morning. I haven't even told Alan I'm back yet.
Oh. That was a sudden decision.
I needed the break.
You all right, Elizabeth?
Yes, of course. Things just seem to get on top of me.
What
You know
things?
the feeling.
Come on, tell me.
Just things. Work. People. You did warn me, Eric.
I see.
I didn't mind it so much when you were there.
Still having a go, are they? You'd have thought they'd have got tired of it by now.
They kept on and on. You know, where were you? Why didn't I know? What were you doing? I just got fed up with it.
Tiny-minded.
Oh, don't waste your time. It doesn't matter now.
No. Dinner tonight? Somewhere nice? And not the Woolpack?
I'd like that, Eric. But let's stay in. Margaret would keep insisting that we went out, and all I wanted was to sit down and put my feet up.
Carol, but what do you like at typing?
Typing? I wouldn't know one end of a typewriter from another. Why?
I need some invoices done.
Sorry, Mr. Turner.
What on earth am I going to do? And this set off for God knows how long. There's Elizabeth still at her sister's, and this just isn't good enough.
Well, you told her she could go, didn't you?
Yes, I know I did, but it wasn't as...
And Seth didn't have an accident on purpose, did he?
Well, thank you very much for your sympathy.
Smoky Big. You've got a lot to answer for, you, Turner.
Oh, really? According to who?
He's completely lost his memory. He don't even recognise me.
Temporary amnesia is not a life-threatening condition, Archie. Seth will get his memory back soon enough.
You better I'd do, otherwise it's going to cost you a minting compensation.
Would you like a drink, love?
Aye, a drink. Very nice, love.
Your usual?
I suppose so.
That's Carol. Do you remember Carol?
And this is the Woolpack set. You understand? The Woolpack.
Aye, Woolpack. I don't think I ought to have that, love. Doctor said I've got to stay away from alcohol.
Don't believe this.
Well, I don't think one drink will do you any harm, love.
Well, maybe just an half.
This is really serious.
Oh, it looks pretty bad right enough, Archie. Get him a stool.
Yeah, Seth. Have a sit down, mate.
There we are, love.
Now then. Is that a familiar taste? Do you remember having it before in here, maybe?
Oh, really?
See what you've done, Turner?
If you think I'm going to fall for this charade, Brooks, you've got another thing coming.
You've provided safer working conditions. It won't be in this state.
I told you what happened. It was entirely his own fault.
We'll soon know when we hear his side of the story, when he gets his memory back.
And you think bringing him here in the wool pack is going to help?
Well, you should be thanking me for that, Fatty. Sooner he gets his memory back, the lower the claim.
Oh, do you want a biscuit?
No, thanks. Tea's fine.
It's in a bit of a state, really.
Not at all.
It's usually tidier than this.
Oh, don't worry. I seem to spend half my life tidying up after Robert.
I suppose it gets easier once they're at school.
Well, yeah, except then you have to worry about the school. We're going to a meeting there tonight. Fundraising. Any ideas would be very welcome.
I'll let you know.
Listen, I wanted to apologise. What I did to you that night in the wool pack.
I'm not bothered.
Well, it can't have been very nice for you, with everybody watching.
People think what they want to think.
I've been worrying about it ever since.
I don't blame you. I'd have done the same thing.
Would you?
Definitely. Someone had made a play for my bloke like I did for Jack.
Even so, I shouldn't have done it like that. I'm sorry.
You're lucky with Jack, you know. He never was interested. Not once.
I know.
Then why? I mean, if you knew he wasn't bothered.
I couldn't let you carry on like that. It was just a bit of fun. Oh, for heaven's sake, Lynn, what's happened to you?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with me.
Isn't there?
What's it to you anyway?
Oh, come on, Lynn, of course it's nothing to me. It's your life you're wrecking. And his. At least think about him.
Good afternoon, all. Usual, please, Carol.
So you're back home.
Needn't sound so pleased, Alan. So, how are things then? Oh, you're looking a bit poorly, Seth. Nothing wrong, I hope.
Who's he? Do I know him?
Best not remembering in this case, mate.
Seth? What's wrong?
Seems to know me. I suppose I should know him, shouldn't I?
He's not all right, as it happens. He's a victim of inadequate safety precautions in the workplace. As a consequence, he's completely lost his memory, brought on by the bourgeois attitude of his employer.
I'm warning you,
You
Brooks.
should be thanking me, Fatty. It's me that's trying to undo the harm that you've done by jogging his memory back into place. Come on, old lad. Go see if there's anywhere we recognise.
A couple of hours' work might help.
Oh, aye. Somehow, I don't think the factories inspector agreed with you.
Skivers.
I don't think so, Mr. Turner. Seth definitely has a nobody home look about the eyes.
Seth has had that look for years.
You even say it doesn't sound too good for you, though, does it, old boy?
Oh, don't worry about me, Eric. I can handle those two. So, what have you been dipping your dirty little fingers into lately?
You never let up, dear. It's a wonder anyone comes in here at all.
No, I'm just curious, Eric, just curious. And even Elizabeth wasn't too sure where you'd gone.
No. Still didn't stop you asking her, though, did it?
Oh, you've seen her then, have you?
Yes, called on her first thing this morning.
What do you mean she's back already?
Well, how else would I call on her?
I see. Well, I suppose she'll have the decency to let me know she's returned sooner or later.
Yes, and when she does, old boy, may I suggest that if you feel the urge to know where I am, where I've been, or where I'm going, you ask me, not Elizabeth.
Hello, love. Where have you been? Expected you back an hour ago. Oh, you can go out again if I'm going to get that every time you come back.
I do love you, Jack.
What's all this about?
I've just been talking to Lynn Whiteley.
Oh, not again.
No, not like that. In fact, I feel sorry for her. She looked terrible.
Worse than you after a day of muck spreading.
It's no laughing matter. Seeing someone so low makes you really thankful for what you've got.
Oh, so that's what all this is about. I was beginning to think it must be my birthday or something.
It doesn't have to be anything special, does it, to give you a kiss?
Try me, but you'll have to be quick. I've got the ewes to feed.
You do like the colour, don't you? I can take it back.
Oh, no, love, it's smashing. Thanks.
I'll have tea ready for 5.
Won't give me much time for milking.
Well, we've got to get to that meeting on time.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. I haven't had any ideas yet, have you?
A Tupperware party. We can hold it here.
Yeah, I'll keep well away from it.
Carol, how many more times? It was an accident brought about by his own stupidity.
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? I mean, him working unsupervised and all, and Elizabeth being given time off.
That has got nothing to do with it.
Maybe, maybe not. But what about the crates?
And what about the crates?
Well, if you're not providing adequate storage space, it's no wonder that crates keep falling down all over the place.
Carol, crates do not keep falling down all over the place. Seth Armstrong just had a little bump on the head. All this nonsense about amnesia is just Seth swinging the lid again.
That's a very cruel thing to say about the poor man.
Well, you wait and see. If it wasn't for Archie Brooks, I'd get to the bottom of this.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'll give him a day or two to come to his senses. And if he doesn't, every time he looks over his shoulder, I'll be there.
What's for dinner?
Oh, roast lamb. Kathy's not coming now, though.
Ah, don't tell me they've had an argument already. I've only been married 3 months.
Of course not. She's going to see Lynn. Or something's up. Lynn bumped into Kathy this afternoon, and according to Kathy, she's a bit desperate.
Oh, well, never mind.
Might be a good chance for you to talk to Chris again about the mill.
No, not another word. If Chris and Kathy don't want our help, I'm not going to beg them.
I thought about you a lot while I was away. And about what people would be saying to you.
I gave as good as I got, I'm sure I did.
I bet you did. Incredible how small-minded some people can be.
It was only when Alan Turner decided to suggest that you'd gone away for dubious reasons. That's when I got really fed up. Oh, then Carol put her oar in.
That one's got gossip as a middle name.
You should have seen him when I told him I was going away.
You told him?
Of course, I wasn't going to waste breath asking.
I could just imagine.
He did a good impersonation of a stranded walrus.
You're a formidable lady, Elizabeth.
When I have to be. So, are you going to tell me where you went? It wasn't abroad because you haven't got a tan. Although you could have been skiing, I suppose.
I can't ski to save my life. Oh, I just remembered I've got some chocolate truffles to have with our coffee later. In my coat pocket.
I think of all the things we could have done to raise funds.
Having second thoughts, are you? You didn't have to volunteer to hold the party.
That was before they decided what it would be.
Well, should be fun.
Yeah, I did notice your eyes light up. An underwear party, I ask you.
Lingerie, she said, not underwear.
Oh, yeah? Know the difference, do you?
Yeah, of course I do. Lingerie's all that frilly, fancy stuff with silk and lace and little ribbons. Feel like an early night?
I'm warning you now, Jack Sugden. I don't want you within a mile of that underwear party when it takes place.
Yeah, all right. Don't get your knickers in a twist.
More wine. There's another bottle in the fridge.
No, not at the moment. I want you to talk to me. That's why I'm here, isn't it?
I was just being silly when I saw you. A bit depressed. Nothing to worry about.
That's not what it looks like.
I'm just a bit fed up at the moment, that's all. I'm all right, though. I can cope.
Can you?
Of course I can. Who says I can't?
No one.
I mean, I've been coping since Pete died. I've done okay.
I think you've really done well, Lynn. People do realise how hard it's been for you, you know?
People? What people?
No one in particular.
No, come on, really, I'd like to know. And I'd like to know how they cope in the same circumstances.
Probably not as well. Lynn, after Jackie died, I felt as though my world had ended. I didn't want to live anymore. Nothing made sense. It was as though I was a puppet and someone had cut my strings, you know?
Yeah. And you got over it, didn't you? Found someone else.
I was lucky. Really lucky. But you can't make it happen.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. All this chasing around Jack, Michael, it's not doing any good.
What do you know about it? Anyway, I'm not.
Come on, Lynn. You don't have to pretend. Not with me.
I know. I've made a real fool of myself, haven't I?
Thanks, Kim. That was smashing.
Good.
What's the matter, Chris? Doesn't she feed you properly?
Kathy's a good cook. Too good sometimes.
So, how's the decorating going? Made any decisions yet?
Oh, we haven't really had time to sit down and discuss it yet.
We don't choose anything too dark in the mill, not with the rooms being as compact as they are. Oh, and nothing with too large a pattern.
Kim, if Chris and Kathy want our advice, I'm sure they will ask for it.
Yes, right.
Actually, Dad, I did want to ask you something.
Oh?
Yeah, it's to do with the outside. We haven't got a clue who to go to.
Well, I'm sure you'll find someone. Just look through the yellow pages. So long as it's a trade member.
Well, yeah, but if you could recommend someone. I mean, I haven't got much experience with this sort of thing. I don't know what I should be looking for.
Oh, I'm sure I can help you. I'll get my address.
I look a little Peter sometimes. And I can see Pete there. That grin of his. He sits there, smiling away, dead happy. I think, what am I going to tell him? When he asks me about his dad. What am I going to tell him, Kathy?
The truth, I suppose. You can't tell him anything else.
Yeah. I can just hear it. Well, Pete, it's like this. Your dad was killed by his girlfriend's mother. They buried him on the day you were born. I hate him, Kathy. I hate him. How could he do that to me?
I don't know what to say.
What would you think if Christopher was unfaithful to you?
I don't know. I'd kill him.
Yeah. That's my problem, isn't it? Pete was killed. Do you know what that means? I'll never know if he would have come back to me.
Of course he would. He loved you. He was just playing around, being stupid.
I loved him, Kathy. I loved him so much. If he walked in here now, I'd forgive him everything.
A pint and orange juice, please, Carl.
Hey, I've been in here before. I recognise it.
Do you really?
Ah. We came in here this morning, didn't we?
That's right, Seth, we did.
Oh, Lord, it's not you two again.
Is that any way to greet a sick man?
That's the healthiest looking sick man I've seen in ages.
You want to start saving up for when he puts his claim in.
Hello, Mr. Turner.
There you are, you see. He knows me.
I work for you.
No, he does know.
You told me that this morning.
It's only the stuff before the accident you don't remember. If you don't believe me, you can ask any psychologist.
I just don't happen to have one to hand.
Oh, come on, you can't think he's making all this up.
Well, of course I do. And what's more, I'll prove it. Seth, I pay your weekly wages, don't I?
Does he?
How about a rise, Seth? What about, shall we say, 10%?
All right. We'll have that in writing, then.
There we are, Seth.
Right, I'll witness that.
No, just a minute. There is a condition. I want you to admit that you made all this up.
Oh, whatever you say, Mr. Turner.
You what?
Go on, Seth. Say it. I made all this up.
All right, Mr. Turner. I made all this up.
There, I knew it.
Have you lost your marbles?
Oh, you have to get up pretty early in the morning and get one over on me.
That's not fair. You took advantage of him. He's not right in his head.
Rubbish. You heard him. He readily admitted it. Didn't you, Seth?
Ah, you asked me to, Mr. Turner.
Hang on a sec, Seth. What is it exactly that you're making up?
I don't really know. Only he told me to say it, so I did, because I didn't want to upset him.
Now, come on, Seth. You don't get me like that. You've got witnesses here. Everyone heard you. Carol, you heard him, didn't you? You heard him.
Sorry, Mr. Turner, I was busy over here.
No. You made him an offer. He'd be stupid not to accept it. 10%'s 10%. There you go, Seth. And we've got it in writing, Fatty.
Thanks again for a lovely meal, Kim.
Pleasure. Give Kathy our love. Oh, and thanks for asking Frank to help.
I really do value his opinion, you know.
Yeah. It's not me that needed to know, though. He's really pleased.
There you go, Chris. Here, it's another address.
Who is it?
Chap who does gardens. If you want the rough work doing, he's your man.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, look, if you have any problems with this lot, you tell him to get in touch with me. I'll sort them out. What did I say?
And how's Michael?
Oh, fine. Very happy now he's back at Emmerdale, actually.
And how does he feel about you and me?
Well, he's moved out, if that's any indication.
Ah. Didn't realise things had got that bad.
He's living up at Emmerdale at the moment. More convenient for work, he says.
I see.
He has to learn. People have their own lives to lead.
All the same, it can't be very nice for you.
He'll come round.
You're putting up with a lot because of me, aren't you?
Nonsense.
It's true. You are.
It's not your fault.
I can't help feeling that life would be far less complicated for you if I wasn't around.
It would. And emptier.
I hadn't realised she's never really come to terms with Pete's death.
We'll have to keep an eye on her.
Kim and Frank okay?
Yeah, great.
But
Nothing. You should have seen Dad's face tonight when I asked his opinion on the decorating.
Chris, we're deciding on the decor in this house. You know we are.
It's all right. I only asked for some names for the outside.
You know what he's like. Give him an inch and he'll have the Queen's interior designers marching in.
It won't happen, I told you. I just got some names for estimates.
So long as that's all.
He was really pleased, Kathy. I couldn't help thinking. Have we been a bit too hasty?
Hasty?
Well, he was only trying to help us.
Chris.
Well, lots of parents help out with their kids' first house.
Are you changing your mind?
No. I was just thinking.
I did miss you, Elizabeth.
I missed you, too.
Strange, isn't it, how you get so used to someone being there, then suddenly they're not. Then nothing seems right.
I'm glad you said that. I thought it was me being silly.
I really got quite upset when I was ringing you and I couldn't think where you were.
Where did you go, Eric? You haven't said yet.
No.
Are you going to?
Of course.
Eric, is there something you don't want me to know?
I don't mean to be evasive.
Look, Eric, I've had to put up with enough insinuations about where you've been and what you've been doing. I didn't believe them, not once. Don't make me think I should have done.
I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I do have my reasons. I will tell you, I promise. But not yet. I can't tell you yet.